Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to remind you of something powerful. Your ability to sharpen your mind, strengthen your focus, and rebuild your discipline to a level you never thought possible. The ancient Stoics, men who faced wars, poverty, exile, and betrayal, still found clarity, peace, and unstoppable strength. Their truths are not just philosophy, they are weapons for the mind, and if you apply them, you will see your focus increase not by a fraction, but by 200%. The first truth is this: you control your mind, not the world. Most people scatter their focus because they obsess over things they cannot change. The Stoic teaches us, master your inner world, and the outer world will lose its power to distract you. Second, discipline is freedom. Every indulgence steals a piece of your willpower. Every distraction weakens your edge. But the more you discipline yourself, the freer you become. Free from chaos, free from weakness, free from regret. Third, time is your most precious resource. The Stoics said, "You are dying daily. Waste your hours on gossip, scrolling, or excuses, and you will look back in regret. Guard your time like treasure, and your focus will multiply." Fourth, adversity is fuel. Instead of running from difficulty, the Stoic embraces it as training for the mind. Every obstacle is a sharpening stone, every struggle a teacher. Discipline grows strongest under resistance. Fifth, simplicity clears the mind. When your life is cluttered with too many desires, too many distractions, too many commitments, your focus is scattered. Strip away the unnecessary, and what remains is clarity. Sixth, control your emotions or they will control you. Anger, fear, envy, these cloud your judgment and weaken your discipline. Calm is power. A still mind can cut through chaos like a sword through air. Seventh, practice voluntary hardship. Sleep on the floor, skip a meal, take a cold shower. Why? Because comfort kills discipline. By training yourself to endure discomfort, your mind becomes unshakable. Eighth, focus on the present moment. Discipline is not built tomorrow, not in some distant future, but right now. If you conquer this moment, if you win this hour, the days will take care of themselves. Ninth, virtue is the highest good. Live with honesty, courage, wisdom, and self-control. When your life is aligned with your values, distractions lose their grip, and your focus sharpens like a blade. And 10th, memento mori, remember death. Life is short. Discipline is not punishment. It is preparation for living fully before your time runs out. Knowing you will die is the most powerful reminder to stop wasting time and start living with focus. So I challenge you, do not let your mind be enslaved by distraction, laziness, or weakness. Apply these 10 Stoic truths and your focus will double, your discipline will rebuild, and your life will transform. The Stoics lived through storms of history, yet their minds remained unbroken. What excuse do we have? The world does not need another distracted soul. It needs a disciplined one. Be that person. Rebuild your focus. Sharpen your mind. Live with Stoic strength. The foundation of focus begins within the mind. A man who fails to master his inner world will always be tossed around by the outer one. The Stoics constantly reminded us that events, people, and circumstances are beyond our control, but how we think, how we respond, and how we choose to act is entirely within our power. When you train your mind to see clearly, distractions lose their strength over you. Instead of reacting to every noise, every message, every criticism, you hold your ground with calmness. This is the first key to multiplying your focus. Stop wasting your energy on what you cannot influence and direct it toward what you can. Most people exhaust their strength trying to change the world outside, yet they neglect the only kingdom they truly command. The mind, a focused mind, is not disturbed by chaos because it has already decided what is worth attention and what is not. This mastery allows you to channel all your energy into meaningful work, into discipline, into your highest values. Think of your focus like a beam of light. If scattered, it barely lights a room, but when concentrated, it becomes a laser capable of cutting through steel. The Stoics understood this truth centuries ago, and it is as relevant today as ever. Social media, gossip, and endless distractions compete for your attention, but they cannot enslave a mind that has been trained to remain steady. By practicing self-control, by pausing before reacting, and by filtering out what is beyond your command, you reclaim your power. True focus is not about forcing your mind to pay attention. It is about freeing it from what does not matter. Master your inner world, and you will find that your focus becomes unshakable. Discipline is often misunderstood as restriction, but the Stoics revealed that it is the very opposite. It is the pathway to freedom. When you are ruled by impulses, distractions, and laziness, you may feel free in the moment, but you become a slave to weakness. Every indulgence chips away at your willpower, leaving you unfocused and unfulfilled. Discipline, however, strengthens your mind and sharpens your focus. It is the silent force that allows you to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. Think of the soldier who trains daily, the athlete who practices tirelessly, or the philosopher who guards his thoughts. Their lives are not smaller because of discipline. They are richer, stronger, and more purposeful. Each act of discipline builds momentum, creating habits that carry you through difficult days when motivation fades. Without discipline, you drift. With discipline, you direct. It is the compass that keeps your energy aimed at your goals rather than scattered across trivial pursuits. The Stoics knew that freedom without control is chaos, but freedom built on discipline is true mastery. If you want to increase your focus by 200%, you must train yourself to do what is necessary even when you do not feel like it. Every time you resist the easy path and choose the harder one, your discipline deepens. And with discipline comes clarity. You no longer need to wrestle with indecision because your habits carry you forward. You no longer fear failure because you have trained for endurance. This is why discipline equals freedom. It liberates you from the prison of weakness. It frees you from wasted time, and it gives you the strength to focus with intensity on your highest calling. Discipline is not a burden, it is the key that unlocks a life of power. Time is the most valuable possession you will ever own, and yet it is the one most carelessly wasted. The Stoics constantly reminded us that every passing day shortens our lives, that with each sunrise we are moving closer to the end. To waste time is to waste life itself. Focus increases dramatically when you begin to see time not as something infinite, but as something precious, fragile, and irreplaceable. Distractions suddenly lose their appeal when you realize that every hour spent on gossip, endless scrolling, or procrastination is an hour you will never get back. To rebuild discipline, you must first guard your time as if it were gold, because it is more valuable than any treasure. Imagine if someone were stealing money from your pocket every single day. You would fight to stop them. Yet how often do we allow distractions, bad habits, and meaningless pursuits to rob us of hours and days? Once you shift your perspective and treat time as sacred, your priorities change. You stop wasting energy on things that do not matter and begin investing it into growth, into purpose, into what leaves a lasting mark. The Stoics did not just measure life by its length, but by its quality. A short life lived with focus and discipline is far greater than a long life wasted in trivial pursuits. If you want to sharpen your mind and multiply your focus, start by auditing where your time goes. Cut out the useless, eliminate the unnecessary, and give your best hours to the things that align with your goals and values. Every moment you spend with intention strengthens your discipline. When you guard your time with vigilance, focus becomes natural because you know every second matters and nothing must be wasted. Adversity is not something to be feared but embraced, for it is the furnace where discipline and focus are forged. The Stoics understood that life would never be free of challenges, and instead of running from difficulty, They welcomed it as a teacher. Hardship reveals your true character. When everything is easy, focus is weak and discipline softens. But when you face resistance, whether it is failure, rejection, or obstacles, you are given a chance to strengthen your mind. Every struggle is a sharpening stone, trimming away weakness and forcing you to grow tougher and clearer. The man who avoids adversity will always remain fragile, distracted, and unprepared, but the one who meets it head-on develops resilience that cannot be broken. Focus increases under pressure because you are forced to direct all your attention toward survival and growth. Think of a blade of steel. It becomes sharp only after enduring fire and hammering. In the same way, your discipline becomes unshakable only after it is tested in the fire of trials. Instead of complaining when things become hard, the Stoic shifts perspective and says, "This is my training." With this mindset, obstacles are no longer roadblocks, but stepping stones. Adversity also strips away illusions and shows you what truly matters. When tested, you see clearly which desires are worthless and which values deserve your energy. This clarity strengthens focus because there is no room left for distractions when survival and progress demand your full attention. Remember, comfort weakens the mind while adversity sharpens it. If you wish to rebuild your discipline, you must not flee from challenges, but use them as opportunities to grow. The storm you endure today is the very thing that makes you stronger, sharper, and more prepared for tomorrow. Simplicity is one of the most overlooked yet powerful keys to focus. The Stoics lived with a clarity that came not from having more, but from needing less. When life is cluttered with endless desires, possessions, and distractions, the mind becomes restless and scattered. It is difficult to focus when you are pulled in 10 different directions at once, chasing things that add no real value to your life. Simplicity strips away the noise, allowing you to see what truly matters. By reducing unnecessary commitments, avoiding meaningless pleasures, and quieting the constant demands of the world, you create mental space for discipline to grow. A simple life is not an empty life, it is a focused one. It is about saying no to what does not serve your purpose so that you can say yes with full energy to what does. The Stoics understood that happiness and strength come not from acquiring more, but from aligning yourself with your highest values. When your desires are few, your distractions are fewer. Simplicity also reduces stress. The less clutter you carry, whether in your home, in your schedule, or in your heart, the lighter and freer you feel. This freedom translates into stronger discipline because your energy is no longer drained by chaos or confusion. Imagine your mind as a desk. When it is covered with papers, objects, and junk, it is hard to find what you need. But when it is clean and organized, your work flows naturally. The same applies to life. Simplicity creates clarity, and clarity fuels focus. If you wish to multiply your focus by 200%, begin by cutting away what is unnecessary. Remove the clutter, silence the noise, and choose the essential. In simplicity, you will discover clarity, strength, and unshakable discipline. Memento mori, the reminder that death will come, is one of the most powerful Stoic truths for building focus and discipline. Most people live as if they have unlimited time, wasting days on trivial pursuits, arguments, and distractions. But when you remember that life is short and uncertain, your priorities shift instantly. Death is not meant to paralyze you with fear. It is meant to awaken you with urgency. It reminds you that tomorrow is not guaranteed, so today must be lived with intention. This awareness sharpens your focus because it strips away the illusion of endless time. Suddenly, procrastination feels foolish, and wasting hours on meaningless habits feels unbearable. The Stoics believed that when you live with death in mind, every action becomes purposeful. You choose wisely how to spend your energy, who to give your attention to, and what goals to pursue. Discipline grows naturally under this mindset because you no longer see effort as a burden, but as a duty to make your short time count. If you knew your days were numbered, would you still waste them scrolling, complaining, or hesitating? Or would you focus fully on becoming the strongest version of yourself? Memento mori is not about sadness, but about clarity. It strips life down to its essentials and forces you to recognize what truly matters. It makes you bolder because the fear of failure seems small compared to the certainty of death. It makes you grateful because every sunrise becomes a gift. Most importantly, it makes you disciplined because you realize every moment is either invested in growth or lost forever. To multiply your focus and rebuild your discipline, remember daily that your time is limited. Death is the greatest motivator to live with urgency, purpose, and unstoppable focus.